Well, this little fly right here is a really great fly. Simple and effective. It's kind of one of my favorite attractor patterns when it comes to more finicky fish in small areas. Black and gold, a little bit of peacock is a good base for like a nice attractor. The gold color is not quite as shiny as the silver would be whenever the light hits it. But then that orange bead up in the front kind of gives off like I guess a micro egg, I would like to call it. That bead up in the front is a Rivers Wild 2mm micro bead in orange. And that hook that is in the vise there with that nice little shape is the keiryu 202 size 16. And this fly with the same kind of materials, even the same bead, you can go up to hook size 20 with it, with that 2mm bead. And I would say 16 would probably be the biggest you'd want to go with that 2mm bead. You'd want to go 2.5 to going into 14s and 12s if you wanted to make this fly bigger than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a hook and get a bead, get them together, stick them in the vise, and I'll get you guys going. Okay, so now that I got the bead in the vise, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my uni thread here. This is a 72 denier, just straight black. And this is what the main section of the body will be black thread. And it will be underneath all that. So the next material we're going to need is going to be this gold tencel. It's a really thin strand. This is probably like 1/32 of an inch size. I'm just going to go ahead and tie that in right here on top. Just like so. And I'm going to make my way back through the bend of this hook, getting it almost all the way down into that bend, like darn near touching the vise. And then here we have to come back up out of there, and we have to make a nice tapered body shape, like how you'd make with a pretty gun fly or nymph. You want to keep that nice tapered shape, not going all the way to the back, but making sure you go all the way up to the front by the bead here to increase the diameter of the body up here in the front while not increasing the section in the back. Kind of got to build it, you know. And right around there, it looked a little thinner. I think that'll do for me. Nice. Before I wrap that around there, I like to hit it with just a tiny bit of this UV cement. And this is just so that that thread gets kind of sealed in there a little bit, because I want that thread to be really secured on there and not go anywhere or slip. And I can put this over the top and it's not going to affect the UV cement at all, but it will help this tencel stay where I place it once I hit it with the light. And that's the thing, is that if you don't have some glue back there to hold that tencel in position, then one tooth of a fish can easily just hook it accidentally, you know, and just tear it right off of there and destroy the fly. Alright, so now that I've gone around there, I'm going to go a couple times in the front, a couple times in the back, trim off our tag, and then I'm going to grab a peacock herl. Not a very big one, but just a nice tiny little peacock herl. Before I put that on there, I want to smooth that glue out some back here in the back, and I want to hit that with the light just to set that, so that way I'm not getting it all over my peacock. You don't want to make too big of a collar with this, but you also don't want to make too small of a collar. Sometimes these smaller flies depend a lot on the water's resistance, and how fast you can get them down is how effective they can be. So the more resistance it has in the water, the slower it's going to go down. and the less effective sometimes a pattern can be unless you're trying to fish the surface or mid-current with it. Alright, well, that pretty much does it right there. The black and gold nymph, I guess would be a good way to call it. Really simple, easy, not very many materials needed to make it. Thank you guys for watching, liking, and subscribing.